We're nearing on our 200 subscriber giveaway.
Oh shit.
Very close, yeah.
What
Man.
is it going to be? What is it going to be? A free course. Yeah, course.
I'll teach Texas, Marcus teaches 8-car PLA. So. Hey guys, and welcome back to Cash Out Before You Crash Out. This session sees London's biggest players with the biggest personalities and even bigger buy-ins.
Just no stopping him!
Do battle on the felt. And so, without further ado, let's get into the action. We couldn't really have started this session any better, as we look down at pocket kings in the second hand of the night. With a hand this strong, we're always going to be raising, and so when Marcus opens it up to £1, we then put in the 3-bet to 350. Ademola cold calls from the small blind before Marcus then completes an early position, and so we go 3 ways to a flop that comes beautiful. King 9-3, 2 clubs, sees us flop the nuts with top set, and so when the action checks through to us, we of course have to bet. On a board as wet as this, I probably could have sized up a little more here, but instead I opted for a small bet of £3. Ademola gets out the way quickly, which we're not thrilled about, but Marcus does make the call, and so we go heads up to a turn that comes the 9 of diamonds. And this might just be the best card in the deck for us to see. Firstly, of course, we've now improved the top boat, and so no longer have to be worried about the flush. But perhaps more importantly, this is a card that Marcus is very likely to bet on. And bet he does. In just calling my small c-bet on the flop, Marcus could very feasibly have a 9 himself. And even if he doesn't, he knows that, as played, he could credibly rep one. Cool. Yeah. So for that reason, we decide to slow play and just call the £5. If Marcus does have a 9, then on most rivers, he'll continue to value bet himself, at which point we can then raise him big. And even if he doesn't, then our passive play here on the turn may incentivize him to bluff it on the river. Unfortunately, the river gives us one of the most action-killing cards in the deck. It might sound a bit strange to say this when I'm sat here holding quads, but the truth is, this probably is the worst card out there. If Marcus does have a 9, then it's completely shriveled up in value on this river, with any king now making a higher boat. And if he has air, like some kind of busted flush draw, he's going to be very reluctant to bluff when the board is double paired. It's not too surprising then that he checks it over to us, but with just under £10 behind anyway, there really is only one option.
All in. I feel like I've been in a pulp with him. So.
It's pretty clear from Marcus's reaction that he does have a 9, and it's equally clear that he kind of knows he's beat. But when faced with pot odds as good as this, it's a lot harder to actually find a fold. It is about just under £10.
Oh, I've just got a call.
Quads.
Oh my god!
But this is not a man who just lies down after defeat.
I can't sleep like this at night with a loss on my mind.
This is Marcus, who, as this channel's most profitable player this year, holds himself to a much higher standard. What was wrong, Marcus? Is that they on for the foreseeable?
If I lose, they stay on.
Throws it away.
Oh my god.
No way, no way. Oh my god!
I thought he was full of shit.
Great players make great plays. And after already ticking off one of those boxes, Marcus wastes no time in ticking the next.
It's just who we are, mate. It's just who we are. It's who we're going to be till as long as I'm here.
Oh, here we go.
I fold.
We'll show the hero fold. Bro, how you laying that down, man? Twice as good as your last hand you went all in with.
Penis pun by cool. Could have happened. What's that? 6-10.
After 3-betting to 10 quid in the big blind with ace-jack of hearts, Shelley then faces a cold 4-bet all-in from Marcus, who comes over the top for 25 quid. Against what is effectively a min-raise, Shelley of course makes the call. Oh, and if you're expecting Marcus to show a premium, then don't hold your breath. Because you know the hand is trash when he says this.
There's so much dead money.
They agree to run it once, at which point, finally, we get a reveal. One time.
Are we sorry? I'm sorry? This is Mother Sorry.
Oh, let's see. Marcus shows 9-10 off for the speculative shove, but to be fair to him, he's not exactly dead. Chip request?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no.
How much?
60.
As Marcus prepares to mount a comeback after reloading, we get ourselves into an interesting spot against Asa and Reddy.
How much is it?
After Cal opens up the action to 150, Sam, Reddy, Asa, and Ben all make the call. With such great pot odds, this is perhaps the perfect time to look down at pocket threes. If we do hit our set, then our hand will be disguised, and if we don't, well, we can just make an easy fold. And that is a pretty strong start. We get blessed by the dealer and flop our set. Thank you, Sam. And now it's time to build this pot.
Check.
Check.
That's on me, brother. Bets. 250.
I don't know what it was this session about me and pathetically small bets. On a board this draw heavy, I should absolutely have sized up here. We would have got more value from straight draws and flush draws, and of course, protection. Cal and Sam get out the way, but not Reddy, who seems to have taken quite a liking to his hand.
You love your min raises, don't you, mate? What are you trying to do there? Just forcing me to call.
After Reddy reopens the action with a min click to 5 quid before Asa then calls behind, this feels like a perfect spot to just get the rest of the money in. Yes, we have a strong hand, but it is vulnerable. There's so many turn cards that can kill us. And so, for this reason, it feels like the best play here is just to ship the rest of our 30 quid stack in the middle. And as a self-proclaimed content creator, looking to give you lot the best poker vlogs on YouTube, it's only right that this all-in gets shown on camera.
Anyone want to record this? He's not in the hand.
Yeah, I can do it.
Or Steven.
I can do both now.
Whoa. I was...
That is unbelievable. That is a bad one.
I went 250.
Yeah.
He then...
Sorry, it looks like everyone's just cool, to be fair.
This dealer has gone from hero to zero very quickly.
To be fair to me.
Fine,
you're gonna call anyway.
I was going to call.
Yeah, you are.
Doesn't, I mean, I
are
was
gonna
going to
call.
re-raise, but it's fine.
Despite the fact that the king is clearly a terrible card for me in completing the 9-10 straight, I decide to just go with it. Realistically, if needed, we can always boat up on the river.
It doesn't actually make a huge difference if I've got the nuts. Check.
Lot of angles.
He's got the nuts apparently. They're on your shirt.
We'll edit that part.
Literally nothing has gone well for me this hand. We got a misdeal on the turn, and now I'm scrambling around like a donkey trying to find my sunglasses.
Okay, I'll go...
Also, it's not very wide length.
Ultimately, we decide on a half pot bet for value. Whilst 9-10 now beats us, there's plenty of other holdings that we're ahead of. And to give these hands a free card would likely be a disaster. Reddy makes the call, as does Asa, and so we go to a river hoping to fade pretty much half the deck.
check.
Guess so.
This is the look of a man who knows he's cooked. What started on the flop as a strong hand has shriveled up into barely more than the bluff catcher. So we wave the white flag and check it on over to Reddy, who, after trying to aura farm for what feels like forever, finally checks back.
I think I'm weakest, so I'm going to check.
Ace of tables ace-8 of clubs for the stone cold nuts, but having failed to trap either of us with his check on the river, it's fair to say he's not too happy with how he played it.
It's going to lead out. It's going to lead out.
I had two, but...
Oh my days.
Despite the unlucky run out, we do manage to escape relatively unscathed. But that doesn't mean I'm not tilted.
Yeah, don't call a jam. I would jam. Do not call a jam. I do if he calls the jam.
Despite losing out on that last hand, Reddy's appetite for some three-way action is still as strong as ever. Except this time, he's joined in the pot by Shelley and Marcus. Two men who, between them, have pretty much completed poker. Reddy opens up the action to 120 with ace-10 of clubs. Shelley makes the call with his own suited Broadway before Marcus, in position with ace-jack off, decides to squeeze and bumps it up to £5. Both guys make the call, and so we go three ways to a flop that comes jack 7-6, 2 clubs.
Sensational.
And with a flop like this, it's easy to see how this pot can blow very quickly. Marcus hits top pair, Reddy flops a flush draw, while Shelley is caught in no man's land. He's flopped top pair too, but his kicker is no good, and so bar a miracle queen on later streets, this could get pretty expensive for him. As expected, action checks over to the aggressor, at which point Marcus then takes his cue and fires out a half pot bet of £7. Interesting spot for Reddy here. Yes, he could call, but he also could raise given his draw has so much equity. Ultimately though, he does decide to just flat. We haven't even made it to a turn, and already Shelley can't be feeling too comfortable about his hand. The way the action's gone, he knows there's a distinct possibility he could be drawing slim. But with so many draws possible on this board, he simply can't be folding top pair just yet. Turn comes the 2 of spades, which is of course a complete brick. And yet, despite this, the action slows down, with Marcus this time deciding to check back his top pair. The river, however, was a lot less straightforward. 10 of diamonds completes the run out, which, whilst not the club Reddy was hoping for, does still give him some showdown value. Once again, he checks it over to Shelley, who, in light of the passive action on the turn, could absolutely consider a bet here. But somehow he avoids further trouble, and instead finds a very nice check.
Tomorrow morning, I'm calculating like odds of how many fucking.
That's gonna make you less. That's gonna make you less tilted.
Still in the Uber on the way back. He'll probably crash. You'll probably force him to crash.
Turn this fucking Uber around. I'm due a flush.
As Cal comes round to the realisation that flushes aren't guaranteed, Marcus fires out for £10, hoping to get a little more value from his top pair. And it's at this point on the river that the hand bursts into life.
Hang on.
Realising his second pair is probably no good, Reddy now decides to turn his hand into a bluff. And check raises to £30.
Bro, there's too many interesting hands, bro. Spoiled for choice.
Had Reddy folded, it's pretty likely Shelley would have had to call the £10 from Marcus. But at this point in the hand, Queen Jack really doesn't feel too good. Even if he thinks Reddy is bluffing, he still has to be mindful of Marcus, and so ultimately he decides to let it go.
He just goes all in versus face. Yes, I'll check back.
Tough spot now for Marcus, who finds himself in the classic poker predicament. He's gone from begging for a call to now wishing he'd never put chips in to begin with. And after a good while tanking, trying to break it down, Marcus eventually makes the call.
Ace Jack. Cool. We go. The duality of man.
Whilst Reddy licks his wounds after tanking £40, Marcus gets to work convincing the other boys of a way to make even more money.
It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute?
With top set on one board and a straight on the other, Sam finds himself heads up with Marcus on the river. And with two pretty strong hands, he decides to fire out a pot-sized bet of £40. And now all he's got to do is sit tight and pray for a call. And he gets it.
I've got nuts on this one.
But he seems to have forgotten that he's up against Marcus.
Oh no, I don't. That's my one.
Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey.
Marcus never loses these games.
He's the goat at it.
Where are you cool? I know I'm not good.
I didn't clock the fucking straight on the top one.
Marcus doesn't lose. I scooped in a PLO. I've never seen him lose that.
We're deeply sorry to pull away from the action, but we do have some breaking news to bring you. Because Cal's just hit a flush. And he's now put Marcus all in on the turn for just shy of £40.
Big pop, Sam.
Yeah.
After Marcus straddles to ATP, Cal decides to just call with King 10 of spades. Ademla and Reddy also call before Shelley opts to squeeze and bumps up the price of poker. It's not enough to push Marcus out the hand, nor is it Cal, and so they go three ways to a flop that comes 7-2-8, 2 spades.
Check.
The action checks over to Cal, who, after pump faking a check himself,
You thought.
decides to bet his flush draw and fires out for 350. Shelley and Marcus make the call, and so we go to a turn card, which comes that fabled 6 of spades to give Cal the flush. Action checks through to Cal once more, and having finally reached the promised land, he fires out a small bet of 5 quid. Shelley, of course, gets out the way, but the same can't be said for Marcus, who now check raises to 15 quid.
Wall mounted on TV.
Oh, you calling? Oh wait, raising 15.
With the excitement of a kid in the candy store, Cal now snap jams his king high flush for just under 40 quid. And it's clear from Marcus's reaction that now he's facing a tough spot.
Well, I'm either dead or I'm way ahead.
Because whilst that 6 gave Cal the flush, it also gave Marcus a straight. With 9-5 suited, he's just hit his gut shot, and so to now consider folding it is not an easy decision. But 3-bet bluff shoves, especially on the turn, and even more so from a guy who's been chasing flushes this entire time, are pretty much just not a thing. So after thinking it through for a couple minutes, Marcus eventually makes the laydown.
We had a Hoover. And it's still been going.
What a fold! He finally made the flush, didn't get paid! Played vicariously through. Shall I show the camera? Ooh, hello. We're facing a lot of pressure, by the way, just putting it out there.
After finally making the flush, Cal gets dealt yet another suited Broadway in this hand, where he looks down at Jack 10 of hearts on the button. But this time, he's got to call a lot more than £3.80 to see a flop. After Ben raised to 250, Cal and Demler made the call, at which point Reddy then came over the top and re-raised to 15 quid.
Get rid of it, bro. Don't be silly, don't be silly. Get rid of it, bro.
The double champ does what the he wants.
A Demler makes the fold, and so the two go heads up to a flop that comes ace-10-ace with 2 spades. And not long after, Reddy shoves, putting Cal all in for his remaining 45 quid stack. With second pair on a board like this is not the easiest decision for Cal. Yes, Reddy's range does include a lot of ace-x, but he could also be semi-bluffing with a draw. If we get a little nerdy for a minute, Cal needs to call 45 quid to win a pot of 127. Meaning, for this to be a profitable call, he has to be right about 35% of the time. In other words, this man has to be full of shit 35% of the time. But is he?
Would you do me the decency of showing if I fold?
Oh, that's... what is that?
I think you're full of shit.
Oh my god! Right, you're all reforming too hard, I love it.
I knew you were full of shit, I just didn't have the...
If he hit an ace, why would you go?
A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thoughts.
We've just picked up ace-queen suited. With the straddle onto ATP, Ace opens up the action to £4.50. A pretty big sizing, but given how wide people are calling, probably makes sense. With a hand like this, we'd mostly be raising, but given we're in position, we decide to flat this time.
I thought this.
Oh, I know what he's gonna do. Make your move, sir. 2 face cards? Suited? Only one move, surely.
Ultimately, Demler resists the temptation to try pick up the pot with a Marcus-inspired jam. So he makes the fold, whilst Reddy makes the call. 3 ways to a flop, we hit top pair on 9-10 Queen Rainbow. Reddy checks, and on a board as connected as this, Ace elects not to c-bet and checks it over to us. Realistically, I should be betting most of the time here, but in what is likely a bad attempt to protect my check back range, I also check.
The 8 of curly trees.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Actually, no, it doesn't change the nuts, you donkey.
There is some truth to Demler's analysis though, which is that this 8 of clubs is a bad card for us. Any jack now makes a straight, and there's also a lot of 2 pairs and sets to be concerned about. So whilst we might regret not betting on the flop, when the action checks through to us for a second time, we're more than happy to check back.
So is it check through, so...
DSD. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not changes. Not changes. Not change.
I'm never wrong, just early.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Check. Wish I got nuts on day.
Check.
Ace of hearts on the river sees sets now improve to boats, but when the action checks through to me for a third and final time, I figure that the chance that anyone has these hands is pretty low. And if they had a straight, I would have also expected them to bet this on the turn on the river. So, as thin as it might seem, I actually think that we need to bet here. And whilst you could argue that we're not going to get called by worse, I quite simply just think we have the best hand. And so to check this back feels like a mistake.
I'll try, what, yeah.
15.
£15 fold.
All in.
All in.
Suddenly, this pot has exploded. After Reddy makes a quick fold, Acer moves all in for just over 50 quid. And it's definitely not what we were expecting.
Oh my fucking god. I just stepped right in it. I don't really know. Oh, you can't be checking, sure.
With just top pair on a board like this, we're obviously beating no value. But given the way the action's played out, it's really hard to put Acer on a hand. I've just checked back both flop and turn. And so, if he did have a good hand, would he really risk me checking back on the river?
I think I have to call 30. As played, unless you just... Bro, I feel like Tony G, bro. Been trapped.
He's checking again. Checked again? Oh no! Tony G's taking the bait!
I don't think I can fold as played. Such a fast all in there. Get a read on him real quick. What do you reckon, Marcus? So what would you do?
You've seen my cards.
Have you actually seen his cards? well behaved.
Eventually, after being unable to get a read on Marcus or Acer, we go with our instinct.
You're good.
Yes.
Come on. Take a sip of that Stella, you mug.
Having left Acer bruised and battered, and with the night approaching 3 AM, I'm getting ready to go to bed. But then this happens.
Now, I'm gonna use this. Ha You want it? Come get it.
We quite simply just couldn't resist.
Check.
What's pots?
And this hand could not have started any better. We're blasting White Girl Wasted songs on Alexa, and we've just flopped the nuts on the bottom board.
Fold.
Let me just take this one down, guys, come on.
But given how quickly the nuts can change in a game like this, and given how badly I seem to run in them, I don't exactly love it when I get caught in 2 spots. Marcus and Ace both flick into 7 quid, and so we go 3 ways to a turn that comes 6 of clubs on the top board and 4 of spades on the bottom.
On you, Acer.
After Acer checks it over to us, we double check that, yes, with Queen 4, we still have the nuts on the bottom board.
15.
And after firing out for just over half pot, Marcus makes a quick call. But Acer has other ideas.
How much can I raise, Brian?
3x raise plus pot, so you go put that in there.
But after all that, he just calls. And so we go 3 ways to a river that comes 2 of diamonds on the top and 9 of hearts on the bottom. Which means I no longer have the nuts.
Us 3. Fucking huge, bro.
When the river downgrades us to second nuts, we're not exactly thrilled. With nothing on the top board, we were hoping at best to just chop the pot. But now that Queen 9 beats us, even that isn't a guarantee. It's worth noting here that because we're playing 7-handed 6-card PLO, all the cards are out. And so, with no burns, this means one of us definitely has a 5.
Not answering that question.
Despite Ademola's relentless questioning, no one's giving anything away. But I really wish they had done, because now Ace has just bet pot.
73.
And this is a gross spot.
I don't think I can.
But Shelley's advice right now is going in one ear and out the other, because my mind is scrambled.
If I ship it from this, I swear to God, I feel like possibly these to one combination.
Since you've been gone.
With a cappella in one ear and intrusive thoughts in the other, I am in a world of pain right now.
Oh, I fucking hate these games, bro.
But ultimately, I simply can't get away from it.
All in.
Oh, I've got 5s.
Cool. If you've got Queen 9.
Yeah,
I'm Queen 9.
And just like that, we've just shipped all the money we had. So whilst Acer and Marcus run off into the sunset, we are left to rue what could have been.
Do you have an exit song request time on the vlog or no?
Pardon?
Do you have an exit song request on the vlog?
Exit song.
It's taking too long now to edit it after.